Now on Nightside, wildfires are tearing through Washington, and polluted air from wildfire smoke can cause health risks. How to protect your lungs.
Gusty winds are making things tough for firefighters tonight as a strong cold front approaches. I'll let you know what changes are blowing in for Wednesday in your First Alert forecast.
A group of miners sent 3 people to the hospital tonight where they were attacked. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside. We start tonight with breaking news. Spokane police say 3 people were assaulted by a group of miners near the Sister Haven Apartments near Spokane Falls Community College. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Aaron Luna.
I'm Kirsten O'Connor. Spokane police say another incident happened tonight by the TJ Meanock Bridge involving a separate group of miners. New on Nightside, our Rania Kaur joins us in studio with what we know so far. Rania?
Aaron, Kirsten, Spokane police tell me they're still trying to piece together exactly what happened. The first assault happened near the Waterman Bridge, just west of the Sister Haven Apartments. None of the victims' injuries were serious, but all of them went to the hospital as a precaution. I spoke to Nicholas King, who says he encountered the group of miners who threatened his girlfriend.
3 people on bikes pulled by. My girlfriend said something to them. They snapped off. I saw one of them pull a knife, so I stepped up being her boyfriend.
King says neither he nor his girlfriend were hurt. At this time, we are working to learn more about the second group of miners involved in that separate incident. This is still a developing story. As we learn more information, we'll have it on KXLY and on our website at KXLY.com. Aaron, Kirsten?
Rania, thank you. A garbage truck crashed into several cars in a school parking lot earlier today.
Spokane County Sheriff's deputies say a reckless driver smashed into that garbage truck, causing the accident, and the driver of the car was taken to the hospital and may have life-threatening injuries. A section of Upriver Drive was closed for several hours because of this crash. You can see in the video multiple cars belonging to staff at Pasadena Park Elementary School smashed. This happened right before schools were trying to leave for the day. Parents had to go to the Nazarene church next door to pick up their kids, and bus routes were slightly delayed.
Received those pretty frequently, but it was quite alarming to see that message come through, but I had no idea how bad it actually was.
The driver of the garbage truck was not seriously hurt, but was taken to the hospital. As a precaution, no one else was hurt. Well, those gusty winds and a drop in temperatures are feeling very different.
Yeah, lots to look for in your First Alert forecast. Let's send it over to Chris.
Well, let's take a look at our winds right now. The strongest winds are behind us, thankfully, particularly for firefighters in the Columbia Basin. However, these winds are going to be very slow to die down. It's going to remain breezy overnight and right on into tomorrow morning. We have gusts at 25 in Spokane Valley right now. Still 30-mile-per-hour gusts in Coeur d'Alene, 26-mile-per-hour gusts right now in Pullman. Here's a look at our forecast wind gusts. We'll see those continue to decrease this evening. Here's 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Still, those wind gusts in the 25-mile-per-hour range. By tomorrow evening, things will have calmed down considerably with just a light breeze across the region. Our thunderstorms have come to an end across the region. We did have a severe thunderstorm that impacted Athol, Bayview, and parts of Farragut State Park with some minor damage there. Right now, we are mostly dry other than a few sprinkles around Colville. However, we do have a chance of showers tomorrow. Here's a look at your Wednesday planner. 73 is our average high. We are going to be at 69 tomorrow with a chance of showers throughout the day. I will dial in on when our best chance to see some wet weather will be and tell you about a cool night in the forecast. That's coming up in just a few minutes, Aaron.
Thank you, Chris. A fire in Okanagan County is causing residents to evacuate, or was causing residents to evacuate. Wind blew the fire east and filled the air with smoke. Okanagan Emergency Management Director Maurice Goodall estimates around 100 to 150 homes in the area are threatened.
And a fire in Benton County has spread 7,000 acres. A level 3 evacuation is in place there. At least 2 homes were affected by flames. Tonight, authorities went door to door to help people get out. Airplanes scooped up water from the Columbia River near Kennewick and Richland to try to attack the fire from the air. The Red Cross has opened an emergency shelter at a local high school where they're providing food and cots to people leaving their homes.
Wildfire season's here in the inland northwest. The smoke in the air can drastically impact air quality. There are ways to prepare for the smoke and air pollution. Spokane Regional Health District says long exposure to polluted air from wildfire smoke can cause severe health risks, especially people with pre-existing health conditions.
Maybe like COPD or asthma, or maybe even they had prior illnesses such as a really bad cold or bronchitis or even COVID, then they can experience extreme symptoms from the wildfire smoke.
Well, the district says wear a face mask like an N95 if you're outside, and if possible, limit your time spent outdoors. To keep inside air clean, close any windows and doors when it's smoky outside. And make sure to run your portable air purifier at home. If you don't have one, you can create one with a box fan and a filter. And keep your HVAC running and use a MERV 13 filter to filter out as much fine particulate as you can. Don't add to indoor air pollution either. The district suggests minimizing burning candles and cooking inside when there's poor air quality outside. We recently showed you this video of water leaking down the walls at East Valley Middle School. A viewer reached out to 4 News Now concerned that mold could be growing in the walls and impacting the health of students and staff. The Educational Services District tested the air for contamination and found everything to be safe. The school district says a levy approved in November will help address failing roofs at the middle school and others in the district.
The Kootenai County Sheriff's Office arrested a convicted sex offender and former Los Angeles police officer for failing to update his information. This is Ryan Gallagher. He was arrested at his home in Hayden. The Sheriff's Office says he was convicted for several lewd acts back in 2014 when he was still employed by the LAPD. He's been charged with 4 violations that each carry a maximum of 10 years in federal prison and a $5,000 fine.
An emergency ordinance is now in effect that changes who is able to investigate Spokane's chief of police. The council voted on the ordinance last night, passing it in a 6-1 vote. The ordinance changes the language when it comes to who's able to investigate the chief. Previously, it was stated that was the sole job of the mayor. That line has been taken out. The mayor still has the power to investigate people like the chief, but also grants the ombudsman the power to treat the chief as the same as if we were investigating other officers. Jack Archer with Spokane Community Against Racism, or SCAR, says this is a way to make sure all of Spokane's officers are held to the same standards.
Very pleased, right? What this means is that finally the vote of the people in 2013 that wanted independent oversight of our police was being honored. And we're bringing our municipal code and our charter into alignment and finally respecting what people in Spokane have asked for a very long time.
On Monday, Spokane's chief of police released a video voicing his opposition to the ordinance. He said in part that the proposal would open him up to complaints related to things like the budget, deployment of officers, and other things that may be unpopular in some circles. We also reached out to the mayor's office for a reaction to the vote. She has held firm in her stance against this ordinance. Her office said she's not able to veto the ordinance because it was passed as an emergency ordinance, but the mayor is reviewing and considering all of her options.
Spokane Valley can be a desert when it comes to shelter services, but millions in American Rescue Plan funds will help create more housing and service options. The city awarded $4 million to 5 organizations, and Family Promise is one of those. It'll use over $1 million to open a shelter and expand its services. The expansion will help families with children experiencing homelessness. A new program called Flash is designed to rehouse families quicker.
This is a new model where we're taking all the best practices of everything we've learned over our 25 years and put them together in such a way that we can do things really, really quickly. So that shelter that's in the valley is going to be designed to rehouse families within 72 hours.
Family Promise says it will be able to help 4 families a night, but says the turnover will be so high that it should allow over 100 families to be served a year.
Well, time for a quick look at sports. I'm Julian Minnesone. Gonzaga will be honoring a legend this week. A memorial for former Gonzaga and Eastern basketball coach Jerry Krause will be held at McCarthy Athletic Center tomorrow. Krause died from colon cancer last month. He was 87 years old. Now, Krause worked at Gonzaga for 20 years, most recently as the director of basketball operations. Before his time with the Zags, Krause was the head coach at Eastern Washington for 17 years. The event is open to the public tomorrow. Doors open at 3 o'clock. The ceremony begins at 4. Now, according to multiple reports, former Washington State Athletic Director Jim Sturk is in line to become the new athletic director at his alma mater, Western Washington University. Sturk was the athletic director at WSU for 10 years. He also spent time at San Diego State, Portland State, most recently Missouri. Sturk was named the NCAA Division I National Athletic Director of the Year for 2015-2016. And coming up in sports, it was a special night at the ballpark for the Spokane Indians. We have highlights from Bark at the Park. For now, live in the studio, Julian Minnesone, 4 News Now Sports.
Julian, thank you. 4 men from Washington are being charged with what's being described as one of the largest COVID relief frauds in the country. How much money they stole. And wild video of thieves in Seattle using a truck to pull an ATM machine out of the store. Those stories and more coming up on Nightside.
4 News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
4 News Now is brought to you by Ace Hardware.
Finally, gardens are growing, flowers are blooming, and the Celebrate Spring event at Jacobs Custom Living continues. New furniture has arrived, and Jacobs really has the largest and most varied inventory ever. Comfortable lounge furniture, elegant outdoor dining sets, umbrellas, and much more. Take it home today if you're ready or get free storage for a limited time. Special spring clearance pricing on select items throughout the store. Come celebrate spring at Jacobs Custom Living on Sprague, just east of Sullivan in the Spokane Valley.
Pop the champagne, humanity. We've done it.
Celebrate your night with big winners, shocking thrills, and living legends.
No, I've always thought of you as Dave Jr.
Every hair on my body is standing up right now.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights on ABC.
Build your deck with Par and get everyday low prices on Trex and TimberTech composite decking. But shop now and you'll get $100 off TimberTech, Trex, and AZEK railing and accessories with qualifying purchase. Visit par.com for details.
What are you going to build?
If you've been thinking about remodeling your kitchen or upgrading a bathroom with a fun new look, right now is the perfect time to call Northwest Granite and Cabinets.
Northwest Granite and Cabinets is the premier shop for the best selection of unique granite, marble, and quartz countertop options and can customize any unique look you need with a variety of options for any room in your home.
So, if you're looking to give your home a fresh new look this year, call Northwest Granite, the one-stop shop that does it all.
Be advised, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to save 40 to 80%
on a hot tub
and swim spa
Friday through Sunday.
Major manufacturers and warehouses clearance of new 2023 inventory. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Over 100 hot tubs on display and everything must go.
See the revolutionary swim spa.
You can exercise, swim, and relax without the expense and maintenance of a pool. Hot tubs starting at $29.95.
All inventory 40 to 80% off.
18-month interest-free financing.
Trade-ins welcome.
Free delivery.
We'll even haul away your old hot tub.
Spokane County Fair and Expo Center.
Free admission.
Free parking.
Call 833 SPA Sale.
4 News Now is brought to you by All Lines Insurance at alllinesinsurer.com.
Thanks for staying up with Nightside. Around the Northwest, an ATM robbery caught on camera in Seattle yesterday. Thieves used a truck to pull the entire machine right out of the store, taking most of the storefront with them. And now customers are shocked by what's been left behind as the store works to rebuild.
I was very surprised. It really destroyed the place. I mean, it's bad. I mean, it takes a lot of nerve to come and do something like that.
When I needed to come down to the store, I picked this store specifically to give them some extra business because I know that what happened to them.
There was no one in the store during the robbery. The King County Sheriff's Office is investigating.
Peak wind gusts around the region today, 53 miles per hour in Othello, Quincy, 45-mile-per-hour wind gusts, as well as in Brewster. In Spokane today, a 38-mile-per-hour gust, and it is still windy in downtown, but not quite as violent. It was a warm day across the region. 88 in Spokane. Our average high is 73. Did make it into the 90s in Moses Lake, Omak, as well as Lewiston, but that is going to change. We're going to be dropping down into the 40s and 50s overnight tonight. These temperatures are right about average. These temperatures are a little below our Wednesday highs, at least for extreme eastern Washington and North Idaho. Will be a little bit warmer in the basin and up through the Okanagan area, but only 60 in Sandpoint and 60 degrees in Kellogg, 69 in Spokane. Couple 70s around the Spokane area, downtown and 9 Mile, but that's it. It is going to be cool cool 61 in Spirit Lake. Not exactly lake weather. We also have a chance of showers, just a slight chance in the morning. That picks up in the mid-morning, dips a little bit. Anything that we do get will be very, very light, however, until the evening. Looks like we have a better chance of some rain as the cool air comes down. We are picking up some moisture along with it, and then we'll be drying out as we get into Thursday and warming up. This is just a quick cool down for Wednesday. We're back up right about average on Thursday, above average for Friday, but then the roller coaster dips again. Father's Day, 65 with a slight chance of showers. We're in the mid-60s for Monday and Tuesday. Looking out 8 to 14 days in just a few minutes, Aaron.
Sounds good. Thank you, Chris. 4 men from Washington are being charged with what is being described as one of the largest schemes to defraud COVID relief programs in the country. The U.S. Attorney and FBI say of the $3.3 million stolen money, $2.7 million was taken from the King County Emergency Rental Assistance Program. That's right in the height of the pandemic and when tenants were struggling.
We all know Seattle and King County has been struggling to address homelessness, struggling to address housing affordability, struggling to keep people in their homes.
The U.S. Attorney's Office saying the group tried to steal $6.8 million. Court documents allege the $3.3 million came from 3 places, including a program meant to help businesses during COVID. That's called the Paycheck Protection Program. Court documents show the group used fake documents and posed as fake landlords and tenants.
President Donald Trump has officially become the first former president in U.S. history to be arrested, fingerprinted, and arraigned on federal criminal charges. Federal prosecutors accuse Mr. Trump of mishandling sensitive documents containing national defense secrets.
The former president entering a not guilty plea, denying all wrongdoing. The 37-count indictment against him includes charges under the Espionage Act and obstruction statutes that potentially carry decades in prison if he's convicted. And though he didn't take a mugshot and he wasn't handcuffed, he was processed like any other criminal defendant. Outside the Miami courthouse was heightened security after Trump called on his supporters to protest. Opponents also showed up.
We're out here, we're supporting you. Don't give up. No retreat, no surrender.
He should have been locked up a long time ago.
And now that the former president has officially been arraigned, he'll be heading to New Jersey, where he's speaking this evening to supporters.
New music from the Beatles is something fans could only dream of. That is until now. That's next on Nightside.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
The award-winning Spokane Valley Summer Theater presents its 2023 sizzling summer season. The original high school musical, Grease, June 16 through July 2nd. The regional premiere of Steve Martin's musical, Bright Star, an American folktale inspired by a true story, July 14 through 23rd. And the regional premiere of Jimmy Buffett's Escape to Margaritaville, August 4 through 20th. Single and season tickets available now at sbsummertheater.com or call 509-368-7897.
This is how legends are. 2024 Chevy Silverado HD with Duramax diesel. And the Chevy Silverado with powerful TurboMax engine. No matter what route you take, there's a Chevy truck to get you there. Find new roads. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 LT TurboMax pickups or get $4,250 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
We rent china, glassware, tents, barbecues, flatware, linen, stands for staging, tables, chairs.
A to Z rental, no job too big, no job too small.
Jackhammers, stand doors, washers, stump grinder saws, generators, skid steer, excavator, dingoes, trailers, tractors, nailers, staplers, hole diggers, tillers, mowers, yard vac, aerators.
Call A to Z rental at 509-924-2000 or go to rentatoz.com.
We rent everything, man.
Now open in Airway Heights.
At A to Z Rental, we rent everything.
I'm Chad Young from the Easy Home Buyer, and I pay cash for houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast for cash, call us today for your no-obligation as-is cash offer. We buy houses in any condition, and there are no fees, no commissions, and no repairs. We buy houses with tenants, fixer-uppers, bare land, even haunted houses. Woo! Call us today or visit us online at theeasyhomebuyer.com.
Pick up the phone to inquire. Call the Easy Home Buyer.
4 News Now is brought to you by Floor Trader Outlet.
Thanks for staying with Nightside. A buck and doe mule deer took a break from the afternoon summer heat to relax in the shade. That happened in East Spokane. Spotted by neighbors near G-Prep. You can see the short antlers on that buck right there. Deer, moose, black bear sightings have been reported on a weekly basis since spring started in Spokane this year. That's a lot of wildlife activity.
Oh, that is great. Tomorrow is Wildlife Wednesday. Get your photos in. That's going to be exciting. My favorite day of the week. Wind speed on Wednesday will be decreasing throughout the day, but it is still going to be breezy until tomorrow evening, and you can probably hear the wind at your house tonight. Temperature trend, meanwhile, that is cool air pushing its way in. 69 tomorrow. This white line is average in the mid-70s. We're going to be up to 80 Friday, and then we're dipping back down into the 60s starting on Father's Day and continuing through the beginning of next week. And continuing through the 8 to 14-day forecast, June 21st through June 25th. Throughout the western United States, a signal of below average temperatures and above average precipitation. More afternoon and evening thunderstorms in the forecast for the next couple of weeks. Beautiful sunrise. Love to see sunrises since on the night shift. We rarely see them ourselves. Gorgeous shot from our good friend Pat Schilling down on the Palouse. You could see Steptoe Butte in the distance, but what really caught my eye is what's going on in the foreground. That beautiful wheat is looking good. Won't be long until it's time to harvest that. But thank you, Pat, for the gorgeous photo. Kirsten?
You're right. I miss a sunrise. No, I don't. New on Nightside. After a drop in April, grocery and restaurant prices are back up. Over the past year, grocery prices are up 6%. Menu prices, on the other hand, are up 8%. Out of all food items in the U.S., margarine and flour spiked the most. Juice and other soft drinks following behind at almost 10%. And the beloved summer favorite, ice cream, went up by 8%.
We have a consumer alert for you tonight. A fruit company based in Salem, Oregon is voluntarily recalling several of its frozen fruit items that contain strawberries. Willamette Valley Fruit Company says the strawberries were grown in Mexico and could be contaminated with hepatitis A. If you have these products, you should either throw them out or return them to the store for a refund.
Fresh inflation data released today offers some good news in the fight to tame prices, but inflation eased in May as expected. Price increases, though, are still impacting families and may be here for a while. Food pantries like this one in Chicago are still seeing a record shortage of essential items and a steady stream of people who need help.
People are hungry, so we feed them as best as we can.
The Federal Reserve has hiked interest rates 10 times since March of 2022 in an effort to combat inflation. And now most economists expect the Fed will pause raising rates at tomorrow's meeting. But the fight to ease prices isn't over. President Biden says the new inflation report is, quote, good news for hardworking families, but also acknowledges there's more work to do.
American Airlines is getting rid of free checked bags on all basic economy tickets. That means there's now a $75 fee for the first checked bag on transoceanic flights. American says this simplifies its offerings by having the same features for basic economy and both domestic and international flights. New on Nightside, the pandemic trend, sometimes called the Great Resignation, looks like it has come to an end. Almost 50 million people quit their job in the 2 years after the worst of the pandemic, blaming burnout, general job dissatisfaction, or child care or elder care needs. Many of those people were able to find a better job with better pay. Experts are now saying the phenomenon is finished. 10 straight Federal Reserve interest rate hikes, slowing wage growth, stubborn inflation, and mass layoffs in some industries may be causing Americans to stay put. The government reports the number of people quitting their jobs fell by 49,000 in April compared to March. Coming up in sports, the Seattle Mariners got some help from an unlikely hero. Why the team could be on their way to a long winning streak.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Beat the heat. Always water before 10 a.m. or after 6 p.m.
Welcome to Celebrity Family Feud, everybody. I'm your man, Steve Harvey. Funeral home lost the body. What they gonna put in the casket? A horse. Let's go.
Celebrity Family Feud premieres Sunday, July 9th on ABC and stream on Hulu.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Shopko Optical welcomes more insurance plans than ever. Call to book an exam and verify coverage.
A Spokane Valley homeowner thought her smoke detectors were fine, but they weren't. How firefighters spotted a potentially deadly problem and how you can get the same help for free. Thursday at 6 on Good Morning Northwest.
2024 Chevy Silverado HD with Duramax diesel. And the Chevy Silverado with powerful TurboMax engine. No matter what route you take, there's a Chevy truck to get you there. Find new roads. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 LT TurboMax pickups, or get $4,250 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on the next task. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com denominated. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Schedule your comprehensive eye exam at Shopko.com or bring in your outside prescription.
For the first time, former NFL running back Peyton Hillis is speaking out about the moment he rescued his young son and niece from a dangerous rip current that nearly cost him his life. 37-year-old former running back Peyton Hillis was left fighting for his life on the beach after he swam into the ocean to rescue his 9-year-old son and 8-year-old niece from a rip current in Pensacola. He says the worst part was swimming past his son to save his niece first.
I think the scariest point to me was when I'm swimming to my son and I have to pass by him because my niece is in more danger.
You had to make a decision.
Yes, but I knew that I had to pass him up to get to Camille first because, you know, if I didn't, there's no way she would have made it. And so swam past my son and I got to Camille and she starts freaking out, we're gonna die. We're gonna die. I go, honey, you're not gonna die. That's not gonna happen.
Once his niece was safe on a boogie board along with her mother, who also swam out to save her, Hillis swam back for his son. Once back on shore with the children, Hillis collapsed, suffering lung and kidney failure. He spent 10 days in the ICU until he regained consciousness.
Well, the Seattle Mariners needed a win tonight more than ever. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minnesone. Seattle lost 4 straight series heading into this week. Well, that would come to an end if the Mariners took care of the Miami Marlins. We start in the second inning. 2 men on base for catcher Cal Raleigh. And Raleigh turns on that baseball. It almost goes all the way to the concourse where people are buying hot dogs. The Mariners jump out to a 3-0 lead. Seattle also got a boost from Mike Ford. Ford, who has bounced around the minor leagues, showed why he may deserve a full-time roster spot. Ford belts a home run to make it 5-0 Seattle. Then in the 8th inning, it's Ford at the plate once again, and he homers again. It's the second multi-homer game of Ford's career. The other one also came at T-Mobile Park there in Seattle as a member of the New York Yankees back in 2019. Mariners win 9-3, and they win the series. These two teams will play one more time at 6:40 tomorrow night. It was Bark at the Park night at Avista Stadium as the Spokane Indians welcome in the Eugene Emeralds. We picked things up in the second inning, scoreless game until Adrian Sagaste finds the gap in left field, and that'll allow a run to score and come home as the Emeralds strike first. But at the plate, the Indians had it going early on, but they couldn't capitalize here. A.J. Lewis grounds into that double play as Spokane was still looking for a run. So we go to the 6th. Nick Kent ends that quickly. The grounder to third. The third baseman can't control it. Gets out of the way. And the outfielder Jordan Beck comes in home. And Zach Kokoska come home as well as we're all tied up. Same inning, Ben Sims singles out to right field. Juan Guerrero scores. And Spokane finally gets on top. And they would never look back to get the series opening win. And with the win, they stay with Vancouver, tied for first place in the Northwest League as we are just a few weeks away from the break. Washington State Baseball's Jacob McKeon McKeon was named to the All-West Region First Team by the American Baseball Coaches Association. After earning second-team honors last season, McKeon is the first Cougar to earn back-to-back All-Region honors since 2011. McKeon hit 8 home runs and was an All-Pac-12 performer for the Cougars this season. And we're about a week away from the NBA draft. Many players will be taking the next step in their basketball careers. And for some of the Gonzaga Bulldogs, well, it's not so cut and dry. 19 players have received invites to attend the NBA draft green room. None are from Gonzaga. These players, the 19 that were invited, were voted on by team presidents and general managers as the most likely to be drafted in the first round. Now, 4 or 5 players are still expected to receive invites in the coming days. Now, the NBA draft green room is the staging area which the draft and players wait to hear their name at the draft. And just because a player didn't get invited doesn't mean they're not getting drafted. One reason the Gonzaga players didn't receive an invite could be because of where they're projected. Gonzaga forward Julian Strother is the highest projected draft pick for the Bulldogs, but he is slated in the second round. Same with Drew Timme. Gonzaga guards Malachi Smith and Razier Bolton are not projected draft picks according to multiple mock drafts. Washington State Muhammad Gay, the big fella for them, has been projected as a borderline second-round draft pick. And the NBA draft is scheduled for June 22nd. You could watch it right here on 4 News Now. The Las Vegas Golden Knights won the Stanley Cup by defeating the Florida Panthers 9-3 in Game 5. It was the first championship for the Golden Knights since becoming an NHL franchise 6 years ago. The Las Vegas captain Mark Stone scored 3 goals, otherwise known as a hat trick. It's the first hat trick in a Stanley Cup clinching victory in more than 100 years. So congrats to them. That'll wrap us up for sports.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
If your checking account isn't earning you money, it's time to switch to bonus checking from Numerica. The account that earns an incredible 2% annual percentage yield. That could earn you up to $500 every year or more.
Donating your vehicle to UGM Motors is easy.
When you drop off a vehicle, you have to sign a paper of, I donated this vehicle. And that was the hardest part. And I didn't have to fill it out. They filled it out for me and had me sign it.
Your car, truck, RV, or motorcycle will provide food, shelter, job training, and recovery services at Union Gospel Mission.
I think it's a great service to the community.
Call 509-327-HELP to schedule a free pickup today.
Save thousands on the new Revolutionary Swim Spa at a one-time sale. Friday through Sunday. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Exercise with low impact. Swim the entire year and stay in shape. Teach your kids to swim. Unwind and save thousands. Avoid the expense and maintenance involved with a pool. Swim, exercise, and relax in your new aquatic exercise swim spa. Installation in 1 day only. New 2023 inventory. 18-month interest-free financing. Millions of dollars of inventory must be sold. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Free admission. Free parking. Call 833-SPA-SALE.
One of the best kept secrets in Spokane is the little granite and cabinet store that does most of the biggest remodels and new construction. Northwest Granite.
Northwest Granite is known for their incredible selection of unique granite, marble, and quartz countertop options that bring captivating, attractive looks to any room in your home.
From quality flooring to a variety of cabinets and exotic countertops, Northwest Granite is the one-stop shop that does it all.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
Gusty winds tomorrow morning. Those winds will slowly die down through the day. You're going to notice a difference in temperatures. We'll be down around 50 degrees to start the day. That compares to the lower 60s this morning. A high of 69 compares to 88 today. Big difference.
That is a huge difference.
All new on Nightside, new music from the Beatles, something fans could only dream of.
That is. Until now, AI is making it possible. Paul McCartney told BBC radio producers he used artificial intelligence to mix a new Beatles song using John Lennon's voice. It comes from a demo he and McCartney worked on decades ago. McCartney says engineers used an AI to produce vocals on the track performed by a computer version of John Lennon. The legendary guitarist and singer admits it is, quote, kind of scary.
As is most of what they